Is everybody there? Jennifer?
Yeah, I was on with Jay. Jamie said he can't see anything, so he was. I told him to reload.
Well, we
Mike, you were
lost
wasting
Jamie.
away to nothing.
Well, we lost Jamie, so
He's coming
that's
right back. He's
normal
coming right
being.
back. He just couldn't see anything.
I'm wasting away to nothing. Yeah, you see that?
Yeah.
I lost. I lost. I think I lost about 25 pounds, probably more, maybe 30.
I'm going to lose about 150. I get rid of this husband of mine. I'm just playing, guys. I'm just.
uh, so, oh wait, yeah, it looks like we are streaming on Facebook. I think. Uh, I'm not really sure. I think that's an old video. That was when I was playing around with it or something. So, are we streaming on Facebook? I'm not really sure.
Well, in your upper right corner, does it say Facebook?
No, it won't say Facebook because Facebook doesn't allow streaming into groups or pages anymore. So it won't say that. It'll say something else.
No.
For the love of God. Oh, so we have our resident dickhead joined us, Sage Outcast.
And he'll
Um,
argue with a piece of steel rebar, I swear.
fucking retard. I'm sorry to use that word, but I don't I don't I can't find a better one for this guy. He's such a fucking idiot. I don't know. It's like I don't know how old he is, but I think when I was his age, I had to have something. There had to be something better going on in my life than chasing down people on fucking social media. Just fucking go away, guy. I tried to love you, I just can't. Jamie, what's up, brother?
Just out working, man.
Yeah, I hear
Heading
you,
up to
bro.
Grand Prairie. Just loaded in Dickinson down south of LaPorte. Heading up to Grand Prairie for AM delivery.
Jamie, it's good to see you, man. It's good to see you. I know we've been away for a while. I've been dealing with some medical issues and some personal stuff I had to deal with. I had to have some surgery, and I'm feeling a lot better now. And
Jamie, if you can get a load through here, I need you to come through here and pick this stuff up for the Texas Truck Show, if you can.
Yeah.
I'm glad to be back. Yeah, Texas Truck
Uh,
Show's a month away, but we are getting prepared for it. Um, Yes, Jennifer. Texas Truck Shows in Houston. What stadium is that? ERG or EC Stadium?
I guess Energy, NRG Stadium, Energy.
NRG Stadium. NRG Stadium. Mr. James Anderson, how are you, sir?
Doing well. How about yourself?
I am, as you can see, doing fantastic, sir, health wise. And when you've got your health, you've got everything. So I am doing great. Thank you very much. James, I want to thank you for the phone call uh, the other day. Would you happen to remember that phone call, by the way?
Why would I not remember that phone call?
Okay, okay. It was just you seemed a little spirited, and it was a. I really do appreciate the phone call. Thank you very much. I was a little down, and I appreciated that call you made. Thank you, sir.
Anytime, man. I meant
Yeah,
everything I said.
you know, it was funny because I was just like usual. You know, you have these people like this Sage guy. Uh, day in, day in, day out, just the absolute foolishness. And sometimes it does get to you and it does get you down. I think you called me at like it must have been close to midnight or something like that. I was backing into my driveway, getting ready to put the dogs back into the yard, and you rang my phone, and I was just feeling like crap, and you really made my night. You made me feel better, and I appreciate it, brother. Sometimes.
Mike froze.
Yeah, I was wondering if it was me. It was spotty, and then
James, are you there? Or are you frozen too?
I'm here, I
All right.
think.
So we'll continue to talk while Mike gets his stuff back online. So I don't know what all Mike had planned, but I'll fill in with something I have right here. So I wanted to read from FreightWaves today. From Friday, May 24th. Former FedEx ground contractor files for bankruptcy liquidation. So it says PYNQ Logistics Service, doing business as PLS of Pleasanton, Florida, filed a petition Wednesday for U.S. Bankruptcy Court in the North District of California. In its petition, it says that. Let's see right with this. I'm trying to cut out the bull in it and try to get to the meat and potatoes. It says oh, hang on a second. Where I find this right here. So right here. So according to court documents, PYNQ sued FedEx Ground, alleging the unit violated the RICO Act by fraudulently inducing the company to enter into a contract with the understanding that it would be independent, but it was instead subject to the controls that required it to function like an employee. So it's pretty interesting there. And then it says former airline pilot Tara Wright founded PYNQ in 2021. And she bought 2 FedEx ground delivery routes on the California-Oregon border. However, in May of 2023, after several attempts by PYNQ to renegotiate its contracts, the suit alleges that FedEx Ground sent termination letters to PYNQ regarding its contracts and claims the delivery giant sold one of its contracts, the Eureka route, without PYNQ's consent and also failed to compensate the contractor. The suit also alleges there was no time to sell the second contract, the Brookings route, which was not profitable without the Eureka contract. Court filings allege that on the last day of the contract, the new ISP for FedEx Ground had started recruiting PYNQ's drivers without Wright's knowledge and before she was able to notify them about the contract terminations. So, some pretty serious allegations there. And
well, I mean that's the same thing these contracts with these brokers are doing to us. I mean, think about it.
Go ahead.
I mean, that's all. I mean, plain and simple, the contracts that we're signing is basically putting us in the same situation, subject to the controls of the brokers. Which I think in the end, when this joint employee status goes through, I think we'll have something there to stand on.
All right. I know that Bill was kind of excited about the RICO Act deal, so it's kind of more up his alley with the contractor employee stuff that he talks about a lot, that he advocates on a lot. So it's just good that people are standing up for what's right and fair for their for what their classification is, and not allowing not allowing themselves to be treated like an employee if they're indeed a contractor, or vice versa. So
yeah, well, we're not the contractor. We're the subcontractor. We've been subcontracted to by the contractor, the broker.
yep.
Same thing.
So I wonder what's going on with Mike, if he's coming back. What we're doing here. Okay, that was deep.
Oh
Sage.
man, I am burnt up. Look.
Oh, you fished a lot. Did you get anything good?
Well, I caught a couple small sharks and really just hung out. We had some friends come down. We didn't fish much. I only dropped like 3 baits all weekend, long baits, because the water was really nasty. We had a lot of storms roll in. Got burned because it was overcast and no better, but we done it anyways. Didn't put the canopy up and went to a calmer spot, a shallower spot than where we usually fish, so the kids could play and the women could get their feet in the water because the surf was a washing machine. It was pounding. Had
Yeah.
bad storms roll through. Got home Friday. I was planning on leaving out Tuesday. Well, yesterday I got up. I had to go get a tire changed and got fuel. We got that tire change, and we had another bad storm blew in, and I'm talking about 70, 80 mile an hour winds. Took out our power at the RV park, and I wanted to be there with the girls, so I went on back to the house and booked out today, man. A little low run, a little short run, 270 miles, paying. I got 1,100 out of it, so got me out and about, and now it's time to stretch my legs. You know what I mean? Get back in the swing, get back to work.
Absolutely. In other news, FMCSA Truck Leasing Task Force meets twice this summer. There will be 2 meetings, June the 13th and July the 18th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern both days, with the meeting held virtually for their entirety. During the June 13th meeting, TLTF members will discuss whether the truck leasing agreements properly incentivize safe operation, including driver compliance with hours of service and laws governing speed and safety generally. And then the July 18th meeting will primarily cover the opportunity that equitable leasing agreements, provide for drivers to start to or expand trucking companies in the history of motor carriers, starting from single truck owner operators. So that will also be virtually. We want to try to be on those and provide as much insight and information as we can for that. For those meetings, we always want to be a presence in those. So, and there was one other thing that I was going to speak on. I'm trying to think what it was. I had like 3 things. Something else. Oh, I know what it was. Flexport, bought the Convoy tech stack, and Convoy was accused of a lot of negligent activity with the way they charged for all the lanes but didn't pay the carriers, what have you. Well, there are shippers are alleging excessive detention and demurrage fees levied by Flexport. So the Convoy platform's new owner, Flexport, bills itself as a global shipping solution, stands accused of wrongly charging Peloton millions of dollars in detention and demurrage fees as shippers' containers languished at the ports. So it looks like more of the same kind of bad actor stuff going on now with Flexport since they bought the Convoy tech stack. I wouldn't look for that to be sustainable for too long if they are found in violation of that, and they wind up having to pay a bunch of money back to the shippers. So if you are hauling loads for Convoy, I would work for the quote unquote Convoy load board. I would encourage you to get paid sooner rather than later, so that if you and keep your receivables tight with that, so that if Flexport does default or go under, and take the Convoy load board with it again, that we don't find ourselves in the same situation as the previous Convoy.
Well, I don't understand, Jennifer, all of that because Flexport's been a failing company for a long time. They've fired all their executives and restructured, and are
And
still failing. I mean,
they've
why
done
would they go out and buy and spend all this money and go into all this debt to buy a platform that's already failed? I don't
the
get it.
platform didn't fail. The people behind it failed, I believe. That's the way I see that Convoy happening anyways. I've got a lot of feedback there.
Same difference.
Is it because of me?
I don't know, probably. It was fine before you came in.
All right, so yeah, it probably is. Give me 1 second.
All right. Sage is echoing what I said. He said echo.
Is that better?
Yes, I think so. Yeah. So I don't look at it like Convoy failed, Jamie. I look like Convoy's management and handling of their platform failed. People were hauling loads just fine and being very successful with Convoy until they just stopped paying people, started putting the money in their pocket. I don't know what happened with all of that necessarily, but I mean, they haven't filed a bankruptcy or anything. They just became insolvent and closed their doors. And so now Flexport buys them, which you're right. Flexport's restructured. They've gone through several rounds of layoffs. I don't know why they would have spent that kind of money on the tech stack from Convoy and opened up those load boards again, unless they plan on doing the same thing. So I don't know. I don't have a lot of faith in that Convoy load board situation with Flexport right now. I just encourage everyone to be very careful with that. Mind your receivables and keep them tight so that you don't get caught with your pants down, holding a lot of money in receivables that may not get paid. So
Mike, you mentioned something a while ago about these brokers and having all this time. Well, I guess if you can make $27,000 in 15 minutes victimizing truckers, then you should have plenty of time to do anything you want to, right?
Hey, I was, Jamie, I was talking to Jimmy Hart this afternoon, and he's actually not very happy about that. He was a little upset, to say the least. And he's got some plans as far as that's concerned. And it's not a bad thing. You know what I mean? Competition breeds success. That's what we say in sales, and we are going to look at it that way. Listen, like I said before, brokers. Our fight is not with brokers, and brokers are not breaking any laws. I know a lot of people are going to be upset to hear me say that, but that is just the case. They are within their rights to take whatever amount of money that they feel they deserve out of a load. And if you agree to take it, that is your choice. I remember the conversation, and I want to say you and Jennifer did excellent on that podcast with Matt and Benjamin and I believe his name is Mark.
John.
John. And he's moving freight out of New York, Brooklyn, New York, and someone is taking it for $1.88 a mile, which I find hard to believe. I am in New York. I'm in Queens, and I'm 5 minutes away from Brooklyn, literally. And I've been running my trucks out of New York for a decade and a half, and I don't know anyone who will run a load out of New York for $1.88 a mile. Even the guys that don't speak English, or we all kind of know each other here. And I'm not going to say we're all up in each other's business, but you can always tell a fool. And I personally don't believe him, Jamie. That's my take on it, and that's pretty much what I said earlier this afternoon. I don't believe he's moving that much freight out of Brooklyn, New York, for that number. I mean, do you?
Bro, anymore, man, I don't know what to believe, man. I mean, it's a mind-boggling thing. I had a lady call me earlier from a brokerage, a bigger brokerage. I haven't worked with them in a long, long time because I haven't been able to get the rates. And I mean, really, honestly, the rates have been so bad. I'm not going to call them. You know what I mean? But she calls me and we talk for a bit. It's been so long, I haven't even set up with them at this company. My previous company back in the pandemic, I ran for them. But after the race just went to the bottom with them, I'm not interested in speaking to them. But we had a long conversation, and bottom line is the load picked up at 4:30 tomorrow evening, and they're in Dallas, which is 20 miles from where I'm going to be, and went over to Henderson, Texas. 120 miles. Delivered the next morning at 8 a.m. And we started batting around money. She says, "Well, what do you need to be at?" And I'm like, "Well, I need to be around 700, because it's a shorter run. I'm not trying to, it's not the length of the run; it's how long it ties up my truck, and yada yada yada." Well, she says, "Well, we was trying to be around 4." I said, "Well, there's no way I wouldn't even consider it for 4." So we went back and forth. She come up to 5, and I told her, I said, "Well, look, the bottom dollar I'll do it for is 6." And then she tried to come back. "Well, I need to talk to my executive, my broker. Let me talk to them." Come back, and they come up to 550 and stuck at 550. And I told her, I said, "No, I can't do it for that. I need 600. 600 is my bottom dollar." We parted amicably. Maybe next time, yada yada, like we do all the time. Good, clean
That's right.
conversation. But don't, if people just understand, don't, once you set down a rate, you can be a little flexible, but you know what it takes to run your truck, and just tell them, "No, I can't do it for that." Over
Yeah,
$50. I mean, it was a 120-mile load. Over $50, I said no, and I do it every day. I mean, it literally, if you ain't going to meet my price, then I'm going to tell you, well, maybe next time, holler at me in the morning. They're trying to book it the day before, and so she calls me back in the morning and wants me to take it. It's going to go up to 750 or 800. So that's the way you negotiate. Uh, and if more people will start doing that, I mean, look, here's the truth of it. The uneducated carriers are not only hurting other carriers that are educated and know what they're doing and know what's in these lanes, but they're also hurting the brokerages. Look at the story on Overdrive. Brokers are going under as well at an alarming rate. Carriers and brokers. So maybe the brokers need to tell the carriers, "Look, man, you're the reason. You're the one that's causing this. You need to bring your rates up so I can go back to my customer." Talked to another broker this morning. I'm like, "Well, it was going to Divine, Texas. They was wanting to pay $700, $750. You know what I mean?" I'm like, "It's a good load, put me in a really good area, but I told them, no, I can do it because it's a load of plants, load of trees, 30,000 pounds, light load, but it's going to cost me $100 to wash my trailer out, at least." So I'm at 850 on it, and same deal. I'm not gonna crash my rates, even though it's somewhere I would have liked to have been and delivered first thing in the morning. It wasn't that many miles, 250 miles, and would have put me in a better position than Grand Prairie. But I mean, literally, I'm just not going to do it. And more people need to start doing the same thing, and things will start to change. Brokers will be able to go to their customers and tell their customers, "Look, I can't move that freight. You're going to have to bring the rates up because these carriers are just not biting on it." And that's what I told that carrier this morning. I said, "Well, look, go back to your customer and tell your customer, that I'm going to have 100 miles deadhead over there, and then $100 washout. I can't do it for that." And never heard back from them. So them going to their customer and telling their customer, "Hey, I got a truck," but there's a lot of them are not even willing to do that.
yeah. You know what, Jamie? It's kind of like the Amazon thing, right? It's like everybody knows Amazon freight is garbage, but it's always there, and they don't ask any questions, right? And that's the reason why people do Amazon. Like it's like it's always there, and they don't ask any questions. And these are the people that these guys like this John A. What's his name? Jennifer, John A. or something. John N. What's his name?
Rogers.
Yeah, that guy, John Rogers. It's like they don't look for the guys that like you, Jamie. He'll never work with you. He'll never work with me. He'll ridicule me. He'll ridicule you. He'll wave his paycheck in our faces, but he would never give us a load because he couldn't rip us off. We have a very special guest. All of you are special. All of you are special. But I'd like to introduce this handsome gentleman to the stage, Mr. Tim Wilkinson. I haven't seen Tim
Woo, woo, woo,
since
woo.
I think March. Uh,
It's been a
he's
while.
he's rolling. Mr. Tim Wilkinson, how are you, sir?
Pretty good. I just, going through my home city, unable to stop. I got a load I got to go deliver over in uh, Layton, Utah, and then I'll be headed home.
How long you been out, Tim?
It's oh man, I've been at it for probably about a month now. I made it to the house for a couple days in between, but that was it. I'm going to go home for
Gotcha.
probably a week. When because I'm in a deadhead home from late back to Reno.
Tim,
Very.
I haven't talked to you a while. How's the family? How's everybody?
Everybody's doing good. My kids are growing up super fast. I mean, as any parent knows, you blink your eye and next thing you know, they're grown adults.
Right.
So,
I hear you,
other
brother.
than that, health wise, we're all doing well. No complaints there. A lot of complaints in the trucking industry, like normal.
Right. Blakes, I'm gonna come to you. I didn't forget about you, and I think we might have lost James Anderson. Wait a minute, he's backstage. Hold on, there you go.
So,
You
so I
know,
got I got a question real quick, Mike, for Blake. If you want to let her go to speak, I actually commented on one of your posts today, Blake. If you can touch on that because I'm missing something there. I don't know if you've seen it or not.
Hey,
hey Blakes,
I'm on the treadmill too right now. I'm like multitasking extraordinaire.
I'm having a lot of trouble hearing everyone. What did you say, Blake?
Can you hear me okay? I might be
Uh,
covering my thing here. I'm on the treadmill too, so I'm like multitasking extraordinaire.
got you, got you, got you. Yeah, Tim asked you something about a post you put up earlier.
Oh, the FMCSA.
Yes.
So they had Mike was in there too. They had a virtual open comment meeting, as I guess that's what you would call that, because they're gonna be overhauling their system, to move over to the DOT numbers and fight fraud and revamp and modernize their current system.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it
Okay.
was
So
Tim, it was like a 3 hour long waste of time, bro. They were just talking. It was tough. But I will really quickly. I want to switch gears here to this comment that is on the screen here from Sage. John to 54% on the load. Can he? Yes. It's not my business model, but it is his. Look, 54% on a load is high. And everyone knows that we're getting squeezed to death right now. And everyone knows if you don't know what a truck costs to run a load, then you should really, if you respect this business that you're in, you should really try to learn and figure it out. If you're taking 54% out of the load, it's not right. You know what I mean? It's too much. If you have to be in business, you have to be respectful of the other side, or else you will not be in business very long. And Jamie made a very good point in that podcast last week. If transparency gets enforced, guys like that will not be in business very long. That's just the way. That's the way this was supposed to work. We had a very big meeting a few months back with the SBA, and when we were about to have the meeting with the SBA, our people down in Washington told me about it, and I was like, "Why are we wasting our time with the SBA?" And they explained to me why. And still, I went into this meeting like, "What are we meeting with the SBA for?" I spoke to them like a year ago. They didn't want to hear anything we had to say, and it was a waste of time. And why are we meeting with the SBA? But we had this big meeting with the SBA, and I invited a whole bunch of people there, all of the heads of many of the organizations that we work with. And this guy that was at the meeting, I really overwhelmed him. He had no idea I was going to invite so many people to this meeting. Blake's, help me out again with his name. Fred, or what is his name?
It was Lundgren, wasn't it?
Yep. Well,
Bruce Lundgren. Bruce Lundgren. He comes out and he says, 49 CFR 371.3 was put there for you guys to be able to regulate yourselves. It was put there so that if you have these people that feel that they want to take 54% out of the load, 30% out of the load, 60% out of the load, whatever, you could weed these people out and, put them out of business. That's why that rule is there. And if it's not being enforced, that's a problem. So one of the reasons why we're not screaming and yelling about, enforcing this rule is because it is going to be enforced. We already know that they're working behind the scenes to make that happen. So it is eventually going to be enforced. They're just putting it all together right now. But this is a problem, Jamie made a very good point. He asked this guy, John Rogers, "What's your cost?" And the whole room went quiet. I thought it was hysterical. You could have heard a pin drop for a second there. And one of the other brokers said cell phone, computer. It was actually funny. I mean, you can't take that much out of a load when you know that the guy that has to run that load has these enormous costs and overhead to run his business. And I know this is America, it's a free market. F you, right? Yeah, that shit sounds good on paper, bro. But in reality, you don't do business like that. You can't stick your middle finger in the faces of people you need to make money. It doesn't work. And that's the lopsided part of this business, in my opinion. And I'll just leave it right there. Go ahead, Jennifer.
Can we look at the comments here? I'm going to get down to this last comment here. If I have a $5 a mile in a load and the carrier will take it for $2, I just can't give the customers money away. The carrier is your customer too. The carrier is their customer too. I mean, they want to consider the shipper their customer, but the carrier is their customer
too. If I
too.
have $5 a mile in a load and a carrier will take it for $2, I can't just give the customers money away.
I mean, that's like a slap in the carrier's face saying that.
Yeah, but you know what, Jennifer, with these new guys, especially the hard-headed ones like him, they don't see it that way. They don't consider themselves brokers. They use the word broker, but they don't use the definition. Look, can I put it that way? He doesn't realize that we are his customer too. The carrier is his customer too. He's actually the middleman. He's an intermediary making a relationship between the shipper and the carrier. The carrier is actually his customer too. But because the Department of Transportation, the FMCSA, is only interested in enforcing rules on the carrier and not the shipper or the broker, he doesn't have to be concerned with that. So that's where something like that comes from. It's okay to rip the carrier off because
he says the carrier is not your customer. The person paying me is.
That's fine. He's much smarter than everyone else in the supply chain. So let him say what he wants.
So can I say something real quick? Jennifer, I sent
Yeah,
you some screenshots
yeah, I got it.
from a conversation this morning that a new broker that
Yeah,
is factorable that I set up with. Would you
look
pop
at
them in
this
the
fucking
comments? And I
Oh,
want to comment on that
I didn't
when we
know
the
get
that's what you
time.
had.
carrier. Look at it. No, no, they are not. The carrier is not my customer. The person paying me is.
Well, that's what I was just saying.
This guy, yeah, I actually am starting to like this putz. I really am. I'm hired by the shipper. The carrier does not pay me.
Uh,
Oh, this and they call me unhinged. Tim, this guy.
Honestly, that comment sounds like it's coming from somebody that's a clown. Because a
Sage
bit of
outcast.
oh god, yeah, he sounds like a
Oh my
clown.
god.
I don't know how to really put it to him, but yeah, brokers were originally put there to service both the carrier and the shipper or the customer. They were there to make it where neither side is supposed to get screwed. If a carrier is trying to charge $10 a mile, the intermediary was supposed to shut it down and say no, that's too high. And if a shipper's trying to ship a load for $1 a mile, then they were supposed to say no. They were supposed to negotiate between the two parties in good faith to come to an agreement that all parties can live with, and
You know,
they don't do
Tim,
that anymore, though.
Tim, you asked about this meeting with the FMCSA today. You know,
Yep.
it was a 3 hour long waste of time. You know what I mean? It basically just showed how much the FMCSA is so out of touch with what is actually going on in the supply chain. It is stuff like this that we're talking about right now, that this individual is bringing up right now, that is running rampant in this industry. Just rampant. If you go on LinkedIn, all you will see, it reminds me of 1990s Wall Street LinkedIn. If you go on LinkedIn, it's all these jacked up yuppies that work in offices, uh, patting themselves on the back because they ripped off a carrier today for X amount of money. That's LinkedIn, right? It's just these jacked up wise asses all over LinkedIn, proud as hell because they ripped the shit out of some carrier today. Just
Well,
like
then
this
they
guy.
should they should be proud that they killed somebody on the road today too. Then, from that carrier that they ripped off. Now that carrier cannot have a good tire. He can't get good tires on his truck. Tire blew, and he went into a family of four in a car. Uh, Killed them. Be
Right.
proud of that too. Be proud
Right.
of that shit.
And we
You're a
brought
fucking
that up to
murderer.
the FMCSA when we were down in Washington, how this issue is a safety issue. It is a safety issue, sir. We brought that up to them when we were down there in Washington. This is a safety issue. The amount of money that is being taken out of these, you know what? The amount of money that is being taken out of these loads is a safety issue. And the FMCSA needs to act. And I feel
100%.
that that meeting today was a waste of time. They intentionally ignored all of our questions. I believe they answered one of Blake's questions. Am I correct, Blake?
Yes. Yeah, they did. They only answered it partially, though. Let's see. I asked a question about inspections and how if they were going to be uploaded into the new system quicker than they are now. Like immediately or if it was going to be a nightly thing, because currently it can take like a month to 6 weeks to see an inspection show up. And with the brokers trying to require inspections, which they have no authority to do so, and sometimes specifying the states they want the inspections in, um, they're denying work to work with carriers based on the inspections. But if the inspections aren't showing up on the FMCSA side in a timely manner, then that affects us being able to do business. And then in their new updated system, are they going to include a way to report complaints upon brokers like there's already available for carriers for instances such as these? And they read the part of the question, the first part of the question, and answered the first part of the question, completely ignoring the second part.
That's right.
Did you
That's
hear
what
all
James.
that?
Yes, we heard that.
Okay.
Yeah, I appreciate it, Jennifer. What I wanted to comment on is that this is a broker that I set up with today that I'm hauling my first load for, and I get over the load and I read the rate con and I see on there what it says. So she informs me that I need a temperature picture of the temp setting on the reefer. I said yes, ma'am. I read that in the rate confirmation. As soon as I get loaded, I will get you that. And you see her comments back and our comments back and forth. That's what we got to get back to as carriers. That's how you make yourself valuable as a carrier, is doing your job, being professional about what you do. That's how you get return business, and that's how you get good rates. It's important that carriers understand this and be polite, be courteous with the brokers, and you know what? It wins you business down the road. Just like I told her, when I work with a broker and I get a good rate on a lane, which I'm not going to run for a bad rate. When I get a good rate and the load's laid out well, then it's my full intention of adding that broker to my network, and that's her cell phone number. This broker, and we will be working together again. She's got freight out of my area that's paying good, and that's how you do it, man. Carriers need to get serious about being professional about what they do. Um, you know, uh, and make sure your driver has the information they need to be on top of what they need to do. Because if you don't go in and read that rate con and there's special details and you miss it, it's what causes friction between a good carrier and possibly a good broker, bad broker. It don't matter, but hoping it's a good broker, and if you do your job, then you get that business. You win that confidence in them to hey, this guy's about his business, and I might have to pay him a little bit more. I may have to pay him a good rate, but I know that he's going to be on top of his game and get the job done correctly. So it's important that we focus on that, and carriers and owner operators start listening to these things. I mean, we put it out there all the time. This is how you do it, and make yourself valuable. That's the important thing. Make yourself of value to the broker and to the shipper, and you're good to go. Thank
You
you,
can drop it, Mike.
Jennifer.
Yep.
And I'll touch on that a little bit with you, Jamie. I 100% agree with you with that, and everybody should be acting very professional when it comes to this. Um, I always take pictures of uh, the temperature, with the BOL in my hand next to it, so it shows that this is their load, and I, send them in and out times. They usually don't have to ask me for much. They already have it all when I get done. And the I think the big problem is there's a lot of foreigners in this industry, and a lot of them can't, uh, speak, write, communicate. They can't do anything in English, where most of the brokers are English speaking. So they don't know how to really communicate this stuff, and I think that's a big issue with a lot of people not being professional when it comes to that sort of thing. Just my opinion on it, though.
You know what, Tim? You are correct. And Jamie, you hit the nail right on the head. This all comes with lack of business experience, because at the end of the day, it all comes down to sales. And if you've ever done sales before, the worst thing you can do is end the conversation on a bad note, because there's always a chance that you can do business with someone later on down the road. So even though you don't see eye to eye on this particular deal, you part as friends, and you come back maybe sometime down the road and work together again. You're both correct, and I appreciate it. Really quickly here, just want to let everyone know, because we haven't been here in a while. If you go to the NOAA website, TNOA.com, and you click the NOAA Logics tab, that is the tab to our virtual carrier, similar to another virtual carrier that we are all familiar with, but sucks. But that is the tab to get to our virtual carrier, NOAA Logics. So if you're looking for a home, you're looking for a full service carrier that could pretty much help you take care of your truck, keep it moving from A to Z. Check out NOAA Logics. When you click on this tab, it will take you to the NOAA Logics screen. 1 second here.
Is anyone backstage?
I'm not letting them in. I don't know who he is.
No, I'm talking about. No, I'm talking.
It will take you.
That's Bill.
Oh, that's Bill? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, Jamie, maybe you should do some like podcasts or live stream or something like that, teaching some of these people. I know there's a lot of new people that's in the association or the group, and maybe it's time somebody like really steps up and helps them out. Things like this. Like I have to go in and use the restroom real quick. That's my truck right there. I don't know if it's in the picture or not. I can't really see, but I pull all the way forward. Like I just have to run in real quick, use the restroom, and I'm going to be out of here. But it opens up all the fuel pumps, so people that need to fuel can actually come in and fuel. I'm only going to be here for a few minutes, so pulling forward, courtesy. When you get done fueling, pull forward, courtesy. There's a lot of things that we can do that it's just courtesy, professionalism in this industry. And Jamie, I think you'd be actually a good person to maybe help teach this stuff to these new or younger truckers.
Comes down to brother, I'm just like you are, man. We're out here working. Here, my schedule starts early in the morning, and usually I'm on a delivery or pulling into a delivery early first thing. And immediately upon arriving, or even before, I start looking for a load, and I might not find a load for 5 or 6 hours. I might call 30, 40, 50 brokers, send that many emails, and get calls maybe from 2 or 3 brokers. And then I got to take off and drive again. That's the whole problem. And that's what I told Sage earlier. Problem is time, man. I'm trying to keep my business profitable and keep all my stuff where it needs to be. I don't have a lot of time to be anymore. Now, I used to when we first started this endeavor, I had a lot more time on my hands then. Things were a lot simpler. The rates wasn't near as bad then as they are now, and it was easier to book my truck, so I had more time. But just between booking a truck and driving right now, it's a long day, brother, and I know you feel it too.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, maybe Mike can help find somebody that has a little extra time on their hands that might be interested in, doing something like that.
You mean
Mike,
you want us to teach people home
Hold on,
trades?
Tim.
Yeah.
You mean an etiquette fucking school? They do that
Pretty
because they
much.
don't give a shit, bro.
I'm pretty sure it wouldn't be an etiquette fucking school.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, what they do that because they don't give a shit. You know
How
what I
about
mean?
Jim does
In the
it?
countries they come from, they don't give a shit, bro. That would never happen. It wouldn't.
There's a lot of people that are going to be like, fuck that, I'm not doing that. And I mean, but there's people out there that I think just don't know, maybe. And I think
Tim,
that's, yes.
how about you do it?
Oh man, I wish I could.
I think that's perfect.
I
Blake's got a great idea.
One,
because I
once
don't
a
I don't
week.
have I don't have patience for people, teaching people things like that. I don't have the patience for it. I'll blow up pretty quick, and then they're gonna say something stupid, and I'll show up at their fucking house and punch them in their mouth.
And they
That's
will.
So
You
okay.
see it
You're
every
teaching them
day. You know
etiquette.
what I mean? You see it every day.
But
We
you
try,
you
Tim, and these are things that you see outside of trucking. You know what I
you want
mean?
us
The
to teach people
landscape
home
of this
training.
country. Hold on, hold on. The landscape of this country is changing, and you could look at this issue outside of trucking. I live in New York, so I see it every day. We're getting more and more people from these countries where it's okay to push someone out the way, or it's okay to see someone standing in line and just cut in front of them, or there is no such thing as lines. Everyone just push everyone out of the way and rush to the front to be the first one to get whatever it is you're trying to get. We get an influx, more and more of these people coming to this country every day. And these are the people that are going into an industry that has no barrier to entry. And that is the reason why you're pissed right now. I guarantee you, if you find the individual that did that to you, he doesn't speak English. I guarantee you that. And if you tried to tell him, pull him up, listen, young man, what you're doing right there, don't do it again. He'll stick his middle finger in his face, and whatever country he's from and whatever language he speaks, he will tell you to go fuck yourself. I promise you that. So, this is what we do as Americans. We bite our bottom lip until the blood starts dripping down it, and we move on.
Yeah,
That's really all I can tell you.
I'm not sure that we can teach home training that people should have been
Right.
learning the first 18 years of their life. I mean, courtesy is kind of one of those things. You either have it or you don't. I find it more with millennials and the newer generations than I do with the older crowd, that they're more like, I want instant gratification. I want it right now, and I don't care who it affects. I want it. I want it right now.
In any case, yeah, I hear where you're coming from, man. Bill, what's up, man? How are you?
I'm all right. How y'all doing?
Hanging in there, brother. Hanging in there. In any case,
I'm just
really quickly,
listening.
if you go to the NOAA website, you can get to the NOAA Logics website. You click the yellow tab, it'll take you to the virtual carrier. If you're looking for a carrier to lease onto, we are leasing on owner operators. Also, our freight broker website is up. The website for the freight broker is up. It went up today. If you're looking for a carrier to move your freight, there you go. The NOAA, damn, I forgot the name of it. The NOAA, Jesus Christ, I apologize. The NOAA freight broker and freight services website is up. So you're not able to get to it from the NOAA website yet because it just went live today. It will be, the link will be on the site soon. So if you are out there and you are a shipper and you are looking for a carrier to move your freight, the National Owner Operators Association is available to move your freight. You just go to this site, you put your information in there, and we will be in touch with you. Thank you very much. That is it. Any questions? I guess that's why
No,
everybody's.
there's a lot of feedback, a lot of background noise right now. So if you got a hot mic, please mute it.
That's probably Bill.
Not me. I don't have anything on. Not me.
So Bill, what's going on, brother? Good to see you, man.
He got a
Not much,
haircut.
man. Just yeah. Changed it up a little bit.
Nice haircut.
Thanks. A few weeks ago, so just a little tiny barber shop near me. Guy does a pretty good job. So
I like it.
I thank you. This being cordial and decent, it doesn't happen anymore. Period. And we have truckers that are guilty of it here in this country that have been trucking for a while. Jennifer and I listened to a space earlier today, and I tuned in to it before I came out to the truck, so I didn't want to come on here with all that noise. And I hear these guys talking badly about other companies and ripping people off, and yet the very companies they work for are ripping people off. And if they own a company, they are ripping people off. So, it's a bunch of smack talk, and Tim's right. There was a guy in there who said that I was speaking facts to them, and they're just not listening and not understanding. And I don't have time for that. I just don't want to be any part of that situation. So I just exited out of it. But this is what's going on out here today. And you see the fights. Some of the guys, you see the fights on the internet at the ports for guys cutting in line. A guy cut in line in front of me the other day at a truck wash, and he called me all kinds of names and everything else. And I looked at him, and I just was like, well, I think his life is hard enough as it is without me going at him. So I left him alone. I just don't see why you would cut in front of three people. Everybody's time out here is precious, and the thing about the fuel island, Tim, that's up to the management of that facility. They've actually gone weak over the years on folks that are just parking their trucks in the fuel island and going and taking a shower or going on vacation in some cases when it's really bad. So that's the management problem. And the managers have gone weak too. They're afraid of losing their jobs, of telling a trucker to move their truck. It's just a mess out here right now. I think our whole country. It's not just in trucking. It's in all kinds of things. Like what John was saying the other day on the Twitter space. It's not just these things aren't just happening in trucking. They're happening all over the place. I was at a grocery store near the house probably a few months back, and some young kid wanted something, and instead of him saying, "Excuse me, can I get to this?" or "Could you hand me that?" he just pushed me. He just run right into me, and I just like, okay, I'm not going to jail today for some young kid. So,
Nah, you can't do that, Bill. It's like any other corporation, bro. When the corporation is messed up, when something's not going right, when the company's not making money, you got to go to the top. Whoever runs the joint is the problem. Okay, it's always from the top. All right, it's like a country. If the country's not working properly, look at the top. Look at the people who are running the country. The supply chain is no different, bro. Okay, it's messed up because the top is messed up. The DOT is messed up. The FMCSA it needs to be disbanded. It's not working. It's a 2-decade-old experiment that has failed, and it needs to be looked at, and something else needs to be put in its place. Probably the ICC needs to be put back. Shit rolls downhill, bro. The reason you are saying that is because the regulator is failing, and shit rolls downhill. Just like any other company that has issues, the problem stems from the people that run it. Just like this country.
Not only is the FMCSA failing, so is enforcement. I was in Jersey this weekend. Had 2 deliveries right there in um, northern Jersey, right off of the Turnpike, and parked at the Vince Lombardi Service Plaza. And I walked down 2 or 3 aisles. We went walking a couple times, and the sheer number of trucks that are parked there without the correct IFTA stickers. I mean, here we are, almost into the 6th month of the year, and we still have guys without IFTA stickers, without the correct IFTA stickers, parking at probably one of the most heavily inspected states on the eastern half of the United States without the correct IFTA stickers. I mean, I tell you, it sort of made me laugh and very concerned that we had so many trucks that were parked there that just really just didn't care. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. They're not going to get caught because they know, like a friend of mine said, they're probably running at night and they don't get checked. So, I mean, a holiday weekend is not where you want to do enforcement blitz, but my goodness, just the number of trucks that were sitting there with the green stickers, not the red ones, with the wrong year, and I just was like, it was appalling how many trucks were sitting there without the correct IFTA stickers, and that's always something
I hear you, Bill.
during the blitz, So,
Bill, I want to ask you something. Just hang on, Mr.
Okay.
Papa. You're looking svelte, sir. It looks like you lost some weight too. Damn, did I lose him? I think I lost him. I hope he comes back. I think he hit the wrong button.
Well, I don't know if y'all seen that Alex Mai just released a video just a while ago that FMCSA passed a new rule that DOT cops can pull up to a truck stop or private property and inspect you.
I had him do it to me.
You know what? I haven't. It's funny you bring that up. I haven't heard from Alex too much lately. Am I alone in this? But I haven't heard from him lately. Hold on, Papa's back. Mr. Papa, how you doing, sir? He's having some connection issues, I think. I can't hear him. He's having some microphone issues, but Mr. Papa's out there on the road, obviously, doing his thing. I think he's been out for a while. Blake's, am I correct? Has he been out for a while?
He just left today.
He just left today. Okay, where's he headed? Georgia?
Yep, he's headed back to Georgia.
That's all right. Long haul, man. Long run. How long is he going to be out?
Let's see. I think he delivers on Saturday. So it all depends on what he finds. If he just like hops back and forth between Texas and Tennessee for a couple days, or if he finds something worthwhile coming all the way back.
Right. And Blakes, before I forget, Jimmy Hart wants to speak to you. Sorry. That's why I was calling you earlier. I have the note here for you, and he does want to speak to you. So if you could reach out to Jimmy, that would be great. Hopefully we can get Papa back. I want to say this really quickly to Sage Outcast. Jamie, I know you know him. I personally do not. I don't mind him coming on this podcast. I really don't care. What I will not do is fight and argue like a child. He can come on here all he wants. I'd like to know his real name because we don't use fake names here. I'd like to know his real name and who he is and who he represents and what he does. If he's willing to give us this information and just not be, I guess, once again, lack of a better term, shady and secretive, he can come on this podcast anytime he wants. We're not running from anyone. We're just not going to play, stupid little childish high school games on live podcasts. So if Sage wants to come on the show, he's more than welcome. Jamie, I think you know him. I don't know him. I don't know his real name. I've never talked. I think I talked to him one time, and it wasn't a very good conversation. But he is leaving a lot of messages here and a lot of messages in this private chat, and I have no problems with him coming on the podcast as long as we know who he is. Jamie, do you know who he is?
No, I don't. I've just spoken to him on Spaces, and I don't know if we've ever spoke on the phone. Actually, I don't think we have. Fred, I speak to Fred Stair. We've spoken several times on the phone. Of course, Matt Dahl and the rest of them, some of the others. But no, personally, I really don't know him. I don't know who he's with. Um, but I wanted to comment on something real quick, Mike, on what Tim was saying. And this is something I've really been thinking about. If it ever comes to where I can get out of this truck, what I would like to do is use my network of brokers that I deal with regularly and get their permission and record, or get the technology where I can do a live or record them and run them, so we can teach these carriers or owner operators how to deal with brokers and how to be successful. I think my brokers I work with regularly would not have a problem with that, because we have really, really good, clean exchanges, and negotiations. But it all comes down to the fact right now, Tim, that I don't have time, brother, to be able to do that, or the technology out here on the road to be able to do that. But maybe at a later date, if I can ever climb out of this truck and just focus on dispatching, and that would be something that I might would pursue. Just a free service to try to teach these people how to do what they should already know how to do if they're a carrier or an owner operator.
Well, I could tell you, Jamie, I think that's very possible and a very smart idea and plan. I think it's needed. And I definitely wouldn't offer it for free, because if you want to get out of the truck, you would need some sort of an income. And I think people would be willing to pay for something. I know I would be willing to pay for that knowledge. And I'm sure other people that are new coming into we see it every day in the group. People asking questions about what they should say to a broker if he says this, or what they, what they should offer for a load, or what they should ask for, or is this too much? Is that too little? Was I wrong for saying this? We see it every day in the group, the question. So I think it's a very good idea, and I think it would be a very valuable service. And I think that's an excellent idea. Tim, what do you think? You know what? We lost James Anderson. Okay, Tim. Yeah, what do you think, bro?
I think that'd be a really good idea right there. And I would definitely, if I was new, I would definitely pay for it myself to learn that stuff.
I know I would.
I know when I first started, it was a little rough, and trying to figure out what I should be doing, what I should be saying. And, for the listeners out there, I'll say right now, if you're new and a broker tells you $1 a mile, what you tell them is to fuck off and hang up on their piece of shit asses.
Okay, Tim, you don't want to tell him that. I think that's the exact opposite of what Jamie's saying. But I will tell you this.
That's why I don't teach things.
Today I got hot. Like we had an issue with the dispatcher. He did something. He made a mistake, and because we have our own dispatcher division, we dispatch our own trucks, and dispatcher made a little mistake. Well, not a little mistake. It was a big mistake, costly mistake. And I thought it was the broker's fault. And this mistake just kept going and going and going. And finally, I picked up the phone and I got the rate con and I called the broker. I don't do this anymore. So, but this one was pissing me off. So I called this broker. So I called the compliance. Well, if you're going to fight, that's going to happen. Okay. So I called the broker and I proceeded to go in. And, you know, I'm going in. And he's, come on, beat it. He's like, he's saying to me, you know, you got a problem, but it ain't with me, you know, because this dispatcher booked 2 loads with 2 separate brokers. And he messed everything up. And this broker is like, he's very calm, which is weird to me because I don't really talk to brokers like that anymore. Especially, usually when I talk to them, it's always a nasty conversation. But the guy's like incredibly calm, and he's calming me down because he's so calm. And he was a nice guy. He was like, look, I can assure you that we didn't make a mistake here. You definitely do have a problem, but it wasn't with us. You know what I mean? Our stuff is all correct and everything's right. I'm looking at the rate con that was sent to your dispatcher and everything's right. There's no special instructions on this load. You just got to go there and pick it up. That's it. And I'm looking at it and I get the driver on the phone and I got to the bottom of it. The problem wasn't with his load. The problem was with the load before that they had to pick up before they picked up his load. So that broker made a mistake. And, you know, I mean, Jamie is totally right. You can't lose your temper. You got to try to keep a lid on it and you got to be professional at all times. We're all human beings. We all lose our temper. I did too, but I was directing the anger towards the broker, and it shouldn't have been towards the broker. It should have been towards the dispatcher because the dispatcher made the mistake, which turned out to be because of the broker before this particular broker on that load. So Jamie is right. You do have to be professional, but even from the broker standpoint, it was it looked like he tried to be shady, to be honest with you, but it was an honest mistake. So it did cost us some time and some fuel, but it was an honest mistake. But Tim, we got to get past the F you shove the dollar up your ass, rub it on your mother's tit type stuff. We got to get past that.
And I agree. You know, it's you know, people are human. They do make mistakes. You know, everybody makes mistakes. You know, and I can look past those types of mistakes. I can't get past the, you know, flat out lies, you know, that some of these brokers tell. They scam people. I mean, you're very aware of the load that I did with that company, and that was a flat out lie. You know,
Tim, on that note, I'll tell you, I think that was very unjust. I think that a lot of brokers are too quick to run to these carrier 411s and these carrier assures, whatever the fuck these places are that do these stupid things. I think that they are too quick to put these reports on these sites. And that was one of the questions that I raised today with the FMCSA that they ignored, but I'll get an answer to it. And we've been talking about this all over Washington. We've been talking about this with congressmen, and we spoke to them in person about these issues with Carrier 411 and all of these other reporting worms out there, these companies, Assure or whatever. Many brokers are too quick to put a freight guard on a carrier. Now, mind you, I deal with freight guards every day, and so does Jennifer. Some of them are very, very well deserved, and I think Jennifer will back me up on that. Some of the freight guards that we receive from people to help them get removed, but you read these things and it's like you ask them, well, is this like you get a guy that clearly double brokered a load, but he's trying to get us to get the freight guard removed. You know what I mean? Like, come on, bro. You double brokered the load.
Yeah.
I can't get you. You double brokered the load, and so sometimes it's warranted, but in your case, I think it wasn't. And you're right, it was wrong.
They were real quick, like you said, to put that freight guard on there.
Right.
And I mean, I'm I'm not the person to do that to, and that's why it came down just as fast as it went up. You know, um, I don't see why some of these brokers do that, you know, and have the power to do that. They're able to smear somebody into the mud, destroy their whole livelihood, and come back with, "Oh, sorry, it was a mistake," and take it down with no repercussions.
Yeah, Tim, I don't know what the end result of that one was. I thought it ended on a good note. What I can tell you is this. I've got a ton of freight guards. You can imagine.
Yeah.
I've been blacklisted by every broker in the country, pretty much. Every low life one. I mean, the good ones still work with me, obviously. I do loads with my trucks every day. The good ones, not the assholes like TQL and fucking, the usual suspect morons that no one wants to do their fucking loads anyway. No one really cares. You know what I mean? I mean, sometimes I get these brokers reading out these freight guards to me and they start laughing. They're like, what is this stupid? Bro, I'm sending you to Raycon. Like, I think people really overreact with these freight guards. Like, it is not the end of the world, man. I've had people calling me crying. I got to shut my business down. I can't get loads. They keep telling me this. It's not the end of the world, man. It's just some dickhead saying you did something. Put your response there and move on. Like, it is not the fucking end of the world. You know what I mean? Like, I've got a ton of them. I couldn't even tell you what these fucking things said. You know what I mean? Like, I don't even care. But some people, they get one freight guard and it's like, oh my God, I got to shut my company down. It's the end of the fucking. Yo, brokers, not every broker is a fucking moron. Some of these dudes actually read this shit. Like, I've had them literally laugh on the other end of the line. Like, look, what is this freight guard? Who said? I know. I had one guy who read the report, and he read the name of the guy who left it, and he said, "I used to work with that guy. He's an asshole." You know what I mean? Like, and he gave me and I still work with this guy right now. Like, I think people put too much emphasis on this carrier 411 nonsense. It's stupidity. And like Jamie said, look, the market is flooded with brokers and they all have the same fucking freight. Find someone else. It's just a matter of not wanting to make a couple of more phone calls. That's all it is. Really, that's all it is. That's the Amazon effect. That's why Amazon is so big, because they always have that shit freight available to you and it's easy to get and they don't ask any questions. You know what I mean? And if that's what you want to do, just do Amazon freight. Like, it's always going to be there. If you want to do loads for less than $2 a mile, open up a fucking Amazon account. It's easy. Tim, you want to follow up on that? I think we lost Jennifer. She's text.
Let me say something real quick, because this needs to be said. And Tim, this is for you, brother. Even some of even some of the brokers, my network of brokers that I work with regularly, I've found individual brokers at these brokers that I will not work with. That does not mean I don't work with my normal brokers because they work for the same business. But I've got a few of them that work for brokers that I use regularly. That if they call me, I'm like, no, I'll talk to somebody else. You burn me on layover detention or anything like that. I'm gonna lump you in with the rest of the bad brokers, and I don't care if you work for somebody I work for. I'm not going to work with you. I'll work with the next guy, and they'll treat me right. But you can't let one bad apple run the whole batch. You know what I mean? Just cut that one broker out, make a note of it, and say, hey, I'll work with y'all because I've been working with y'all. With good rates and everything, but you know, uh, um, I'm not working with that one anymore. And I found that through the years that it happens. I mean, you get brokers just like carriers, just like owner operators, mega carriers. All of them aren't created equal. Now there are some bad brokerages that are just bad brokerages, but there are some bad brokers at good brokerages. So you got to keep that in mind.
I agree. I agree with that. I had a question for you, Mike. How's TQL doing?
Tim,
Are
are
they
they
going
still
downhill?
around? Are they still around?
They are, and I see that they're posting. Well, at least over in California, uh, some of the best loads are coming from TQL, and I think that's because the
I,
shit that they're in.
I can
I
feel it,
think
Mike.
they've
I got
lost
it,
a
Mike.
lot of. I see that and there's other areas that I have seen them in that they're paying well, and I think that comes down to from the beginning of what NOAA started,
Okay,
informing
I got it,
everybody
Mike. I
Hey,
got it.
stop,
No, Mike, I'm gonna say
hauling
it.
their shit loads, and
hey,
I
Tim.
think that they might become trying to turn around. Even
Hey,
though I don't give a
No,
shit, they
no,
can turn around all they
don't
want,
look,
and
Ethel. Don't
I won't
look.
mess with. Yeah,
hey,
Don't
Tim.
look,
yeah.
Ethel. Because I'm telling
Hey,
you what,
Tim.
it's all a bait and switches and shugging. They're
Hey,
trying to bait
Tim.
you in there so they can put that
Listen,
fraudulent
a
claim on
year
you.
and a half ago, Tim, a year and a half ago, people were like, we can't live without TQ. Oh my God, you're shooting yourself in the foot. What are you doing? Brother, are they still a fucking around?
They-
The only people who give a shit about TQL are these brokers that chase these fucking guys' bank account. Oh my God, TQL just did $1 billion in fucking revenue last year, man. TQL, man, they did fucking $20 billion in revenue, man. They're fucking animals, man. They're fucking animals. Those are the only fucking people who give a shit about fucking TQL at this point. I didn't even know they were still in business. I thought they changed the name of that fucking shit soccer stadium already to fucking, I don't know, fucking Cubs Stadium or whatever the fuck they're from.
What
I don't
did
even
y'all
know who fucking TQL is anymore, bro.
did y'all see
I haven't
C.H.
heard, I
Robinson?
haven't heard anybody saying their names, and I don't even, they don't go to truck shows or anything anymore, right? They didn't go to mats, they don't go to truck shows, they don't have booths, nothing. They basically just gone, bro.
that's good. I mean,
Yeah, that
I
I
praise it
did
every night.
hear. To answer your question, all jokes aside, I did hear that they do have some higher paying freight being posted on these load boards.
Well,
But
Mike,
here is the thing. Well, hold on, Jennifer, and I'll let you go. Here's the thing. Uh, TQL has a game. Okay. They will post that higher paying freight on the load boards and they will give it to you. And then a couple of months down the road, they will say that there was a claim or there was some damage in the load, and they will claw the money back from you through your factoring company or from your bank account. So, all jokes aside, I would not do business with TQL.
No, I
It's
don't
over.
recommend it either. I do not recommend
Those
anybody
higher
doing
rates
TQL
are a
business.
ploy. I know it's tempting, but the fact of the matter is that this has been an ongoing scam with TQL for many years. We have uncovered it at NOAA. Do not carry loads for TQL. It may happen a month from now. It may happen 6 months from now. They usually try to do it around the summertime or around the end of the year when they're trying to cook their books up a little bit. They will call that money back from you. They've been doing it for years. They have an entire department at TQL dedicated to finding these loads that have been done and clawing that money back from carriers. So do not do any TQL loads.
And
Hey,
the
It is
more
Mike.
they pay, the more
yes,
they can call back and put a claim on you for.
yeah. Jennifer knows. Don't do it.
Yep.
Don't do it.
That's just because
Blake.
nobody's taking
I
them to
don't.
the mat.
Yeah, I
Nobody
don't.
is holding them accountable. Nobody's taking them to the mat. Nobody's doing anything except complaining. All we're
I
hearing about is complain, complain, complain. I want to know when somebody's going to go over and knock one of them out or work. I mean, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. I mean, what did it happen in Chicago not too long ago? And these guys, these
Don't
other
give
guys
Tim
think
any
it's a joke.
ideas.
You know, I don't need
Blake,
to give Tim any ideas. He already knows what I'm talking about because
uh,
he knows the old ways of handling things. And
Bill,
I know a
Bill,
bunch of guys that have done worse than that. I know a guy that his dad and him went and hooked up to a business trailer, and pushed the damn thing into the river. That's where the guy's office was. He didn't want to pay him. He said, "Okay, I'm going to give you a chance to pay." He showed up to pay. They didn't get it. The next morning, they rolled over there and took the trailer and put it right in the water. Simple.
I need to meet them because those will be my new
had to
best
be done.
friend.
I know a guy this year that was hauling cattle earlier this year, and the guy shorted him money. I said, "Where were you?" And he told me. He said, "I was at his house. I went over and collected the money." He got the money. He got the check. And he never did business for him ever again. But this is why this is why none of this is changing, because we're all thinking that someone is going to step up and take the action for us or for whoever, and we're not holding anyone accountable. And then when you get into big companies like TQL or JB Hunt, and they sorry, I'm going to pass my food.
Not JB Hunt.
And they
Line,
have
Bill.
great big departments to handle all this. They keep
Bill.
changing the people. Hang on, they keep changing the people that you talk to. They keep changing the people that you deal with on a regular basis. So you never know who's responsible. But you
Bill.
actually know where you know where the corporate office is. It's the same thing with TQL. TQL has offices all over this country. And when truckers book a load, they need to make sure that they write down the agent's name and the office. You need to write that down, because these people are the ones that are booking the loads with you, and they need to be held responsible.
Okay,
Okay.
but Bill, I gotta cut you off, man.
Okay.
You can't do that. You can't do that with TQL.
Why not?
TQL is a boiler room, and the agents that are on the phone are trained to ignore your complaint. They are trained to screw you, number one. That's how their training program works. And they are trained to ignore you. So you
I don't
can't,
care.
it makes no sense. The only way to deal, and TQL is lawless. They have the whole thing worked out in their little town there in Cincinnati or wherever the fuck they are. In Cleveland. I don't know what the fuck these people are.
But what
But
I'm saying is
Cincinnati.
that you have an office that you deal with, no matter if
you
the
can't
main
do
office is
that
in
with TQL.
Cincinnati or not. You have an office that you're dealing with. And let's just say the guy's name is John Smith, who got you the load. You did the load, and now there's some bullshit that comes out from it, and they're holding your money back because of that. John Smith is accountable and responsible because he's the one that booked the load with you. So maybe that's where the target needs to be, because
Yeah,
nobody's taking on
you're right.
TQL corporate. That's what I'm
Brother,
trying to say.
you're totally right, but that shit ain't happening with TQL. Anybody
It's
who's
not
ever had
happening
an
with
issue with
anybody, Mike.
TQL,
Nobody is going to the mat on
yeah.
anybody. They just walk away and
Well,
take it up
well,
their hind ass.
I can tell you right now, this man Tim. I'm not gonna say that, because there are many people in this country just like Tim that will show up at your office or will show up at your house. I'm not going to say nobody won't do it because you got a man right there that did do it.
I'm not saying nobody. I'm saying nobody in general. The general population of trucking is not doing it. It's weak.
I want to give Blake's. I want to give Blake's a chance to say something because she wanted to speak earlier. Go ahead, Blake.
I think I forgot what I was gonna say.
Okay.
And
Say,
Mac,
hey,
Mac, you're my peoples. I love you. You're so funny. And you say, I didn't choose violence. Violence chose me. And that's how we solve our issues. And but oh, I know what I was gonna say because I touched on that in that lovely letter, Mike, with the claims and how they handle stuff.
Right.
Was that good? Because you guys didn't tell me, like any feedback from that one.
With the JD Vance letter or the FMCSA?
Yeah, that one.
The JD Vance letter was excellent. That one went straight to Washington. Those guys grabbed it, and they, from what I'm told, they already sent it in. That was the letter addressing the issues with TQL in their state, and as everyone knows, JD Vance is the senator for that state, and we met with JD Vance, his people, and it was a very spirited meeting. There was a lot of pounding on tables and a lot of yelling and screaming. And I had no idea. We actually met with JD Vance's office twice. I missed the first meeting because I was stuck with cinema and I couldn't get out of that meeting. So one of our other people met with JD Vance back in November, but I didn't know we were meeting with JD Vance's people again this time face to face when we were in Washington. It was actually the last meeting of the trip, and when I found out who we were meeting with, I was actually sitting in his office, and I'm looking around. And I'm pissed at this point. I got blisters on the back of my feet. I'm like ready to go, and we were out in the hallway, and Cameron comes to me. He says, "Mike, what's up?" I said, "Brother, I'm spent. Like I got no more in the tank, bro." He was like, "You want me to cancel this meeting?" And I'm like, "You want to cancel a meeting with Senator? Like, who the fuck am I? Like, nah, we can't cancel it, but is it important? Like, who is this guy?" And he's like, "It's JD Vance." And I'm like, "All right, come on." So he goes in, he comes out, he says, "All right, come on. Good. They're ready." So we go in and we're sitting in the main. These people, they have multiple offices. And we're sitting, they have an office, but inside their office, they got it's like a maze of offices, right? So like Ted Cruz's setup is crazy. I'm not gonna say, but his office setup is crazy. But we're sitting in the main office, and I'm a little out of it, and I'm tired, and I'm looking around, and Cameron is sitting next to me, and I'm like looking at the walls, and these guys, when you go in their offices, they have all this stuff on their walls. They have like everything from their states on their walls, and it's like a museum. Like you're reading everything on the walls, and I'm reading all this stuff, and I see all this stuff from Ohio, Cincinnati, this and that, and blah blah blah, and I'm not putting two and two together, Tim. Like it's just not dawning on me. You know what I mean? That this guy is the senator from Ohio, where TQL is, right? It's just not the connections. I'm slow. The connection's not. The lights, it's flicking, but the light's not coming on yet. And then all of a sudden, it hit me. And I leaned over to Cameron and I said, "This guy's a senator from Ohio?" And he says, "Yeah." I said, "Cameron, you are the man." I said, "This is going to be good." And brother, all of a sudden I got my second win, and I woke up, and they took us into the other room, and all you heard was the bell ring, bro. It was a scream fest. It was very good meeting. They are very good people. They listen, they ask questions. They were very concerned with what we had to tell them about TQL, and they promised us that they would be getting to the bottom of it. And that is what Blake's is referring to. She wrote a very long, lengthy letter explaining the issues that NOAA has uncovered and been through with TQL over the last year and a half. And it was sent to JD Vance, and they are looking into it. So, answer to your question, Tim, from me is I would not take a load from TQL no matter what the price was. That's just me.
No, nobody should. That company should be going bankrupt.
They have too much power, bro. And when you have a system where you can do a load, deliver the load, submit your invoices, get paid for a load from your factoring company, and then a couple of months later have the money sucked out of your bank account, and there's nothing you like. Why would you take a load from a company like that? You know what I mean? Like, come on. What are you gonna do? Run, hide?
It's risky.
Maybe that should be something that gets worked on. A regulation to prevent something like that. Hopefully we get some good senators that are on the trucker side. This round.
Tim, you hit the nail right on the head, brother. And you know what? You're right. The industry's messed up from the bottom up. That is the only way this is going to change, with changes in Washington, with different people coming in that are willing to listen. I can tell you that for the most part, the crowd that's there now, they will do this. Yeah. Oh, we love the truckers. Oh, yeah, you guys were great. Ted Cruz is up. You guys were great during COVID. We love you. Where would we be without you? Oh, yeah, we got to help the truckers. Like, it's all a bunch of bullshit, bro. So you need a whole new crowd of people to come in there and change those rules, man. Because you're right, it is stupid. The way the system is set up right now, you have, and it's like what Jamie said, right? It's not just the brokers, right? And that's something we have to remember to be clear about. It's not just the brokers. You got the insurance companies in your pocket fleecing you. Now, if anyone was at that meeting today, it was something very interesting that they kept ramming down everyone's throat. And that is the fact that they are going to be getting they're going to be getting even more cozy with the insurance industry, which means everyone's rates are probably going to start going up even more now. If that's one thing that I learned from that meeting today, it's exactly how close the FMCSA is with big insurance and how much they depend on big insurance at the FMCSA for information. It's a mess from the bottom up, bro. The insurance companies, the factoring companies, all these other the ELD company, all these other companies, all of these bills that you have to pay on a monthly basis. This is what's hurting you. This is what's hurting you. And it's hurting me too. And to top it off, you have your maintenance, you have your drivers, fuel, all this other stuff, taxes. This is what's hurting us. And they don't give a shit. And that's the problem. And that's why when we say we need change, we really need to start getting out to vote. And that's something that Jimmy Hart is working on, and we spoke about last week. Jamie, I think you were at that meeting. Blake, I think you were at that meeting. Jennifer. We need to start mobilizing. This is a very important year. We need to start mobilizing, and we need to start going to these states where these congressmen and senators are that are standing in our way and start voting them out. And we need to do that this year. So that's pretty much all I have to say. Enough. Bill is right. Enough yelling and screaming. Like enough threats, enough yelling and screaming. You just got to vote the people out that are standing in your way. There's no reason why some of these people should be in Washington. They are clearly standing in the way of fair play, free market, and progress. And you know who they are. So don't even ask. You know who they are. You don't need anyone. You know you know who they are.
Hey, Mike.
And it's not exclusive to Democrats or Republicans. They're on both sides. They're on both sides. Okay? So before anyone even thinks about, oh, well, you know, I'm a Republican, we're cool. No, you're not. Oh, I'm a Democrat, we're cool. No, you're not. They're even worse. Democrats could give two shits about a truck. Go ahead, Jennifer.
I was gonna go on to a different topic. So if you're still talking on this one, continue.
No, I'm done.
When you were in the beginning of the show, you disconnected, and while you were disconnected, we went over a couple of news articles. But this one I wanted to revisit with you and with Bill here, but Bill left, so and maybe Tim can throw in some thoughts on this. So there was a bankruptcy by a California company who once contracted with FedEx Ground, and so the PYNQ, and they're suing FedEx Ground, alleging that the unit violated the RICO Act by fraudulently inducing the company to enter into a contract with the understanding it would be independent, but was instead subject to the controls that required it to function like an employee. So, PYNQ, they bought two.
What's the issue with employees? Are we talking about this DOL shit again? Department of Labor shit?
Alleging that the unit violated the RICO Act by fraudulently inducing the trucking company to enter into a contract with the understanding it would be independent, but was instead subject to controls that required it to function like an employee.
You know, I'm going to be very honest with you. I received a threat. Hey, Papa, can you hear us now?
He can
hear. Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Nice. James Anderson, thank you for being here. Jennifer, I'm going to touch on that, but I want to give Papa the mic real quick in case we lose him. Papa, I heard you're en route to Georgia. How's everything going?
Yeah, driving through the beautiful state of Wyoming. Nothing fast, nothing faster here but the wind right now.
Oh boy, yeah, man, I hear you, brother. It just started raining here in New York. It was nice today, but it's raining now. Are you loaded, or are you going to pick up a load? You're loaded, right?
Yeah, I'm loaded. That's my saving grace is I'm just under 80,000, so the wind's not really affecting me too much.
Right. Hey, Papa, got a question. You're using the NOAA fuel card, right?
Yeah.
How's that going for you? I know Jamie's using it too, but he's eating. So I'm going to come to him on that one. Go ahead, Papa.
We like it. We get good discounts. The only thing I've ran into is buying DEF, the 2.5 gallons of DEF. It won't let me do that. But other than that, we have no problems. Blake gets on, checks the fuel ahead of me, and finds out where the best place to stop is. And that's how we get good discounts. Especially the TAs are really hitting it good right now.
She was telling me that she plans your routes, like before you leave. She plans your routes with the app. Is that correct? Like, I don't know how to do that with the app, but she told me that she plans your routes.
Yeah, she'll go through and say, this is how far you should make it. You'll make it to like this TA, and then you can fill up there. Or you'll make it to this other TA. And that's how we just, I try to push it out every day so I can hit my miles.
Nice. I got you. I'm going to talk to Jessica about that DEF issue with you. It might be where you're at. I haven't had an issue purchasing DEF. I've had an issue getting discounts for a lot of things, but I haven't had an issue purchasing DEF. I can tell you this: Jamie Anderson has been riding that woman and that fucking company like
I bet he has.
wild bull, and
Well,
they're scared to death of this guy. So if I were you, if you had an issue, I'd probably contact Jamie Anderson about it.
it works good if I want def at the pump, but we found that the truck seems to run better when I buy, I put a good 50-50 blend of that better def versus and then some of the pump def in.
Right. So let me ask you something, Jamie. I know you want to chime in. You know what? Go ahead, Jamie. Do your thing. No, man. Go ahead.
No,
Go ahead.
no,
I was going to say
yeah,
something stupid.
you're completely right, Papa, man. I found that the pump def is trash. Really, if you want to really take care of your def system, buy the pure def, because the stuff in the pump just crystallizes and just stops up your system. It's my opinion that over 60% of the problems people have with their def is because of that pump def. But yeah, you're correct. Yeah, we've been working on the fuel card. We still got some ways to go. We've been talking regularly about upgrades to the app, and they're coming. Like if I'm driving, that it shows my exact location in a blue dot. So if I'm en route, I can just pop the app open and see where I'm at and see my route and find the best fuel stop. But it's gotten a lot better now that we can see the price we're paying for fuel. Um, and TA and Petro is by far the biggest discounts and the best price you can get on fuel with the service. I've used the big rig one time. It was a necessary tire, so it's there to use, and it works well. It saved me about $100 on a tire over in Alabama. Um, um,
I blew a tire on Friday. Oh my God. Damn driver didn't have the card on him. So you know you can't get a tire unless you have the actual physical card. I had to pay $565 for a fucking trailer tire.
You can
well,
get
I,
the
it
you can get
it's
it
good to
without the
use.
card.
It's good on use on the road, but it can't compete with what you can do buying locally. We got a place in Dallas where we get super good prices, and I've been looking for a place down here because we just moved to the coast, and I found a place. I bought a tire yesterday, out the door, mounted everything, new valve stem for $326. So try to get your tires local, because what I found with the big rig savings is you can't buy off-brand tires. They got to be the Toyos or the Michelins or the double coins. I mean, you can buy the double coins, of course, but the I suggest that you find a good shop in your area, and you have to put some work into it. I mean, you have to call them. And I walked into one place yesterday that was closest to me, and I priced a tire for what I was looking for, and he told me 440 out the door. I'm like, no, I'll holler at you later. And I went
It's
20
crazy, right?
20
Yeah,
20
I'm
miles down
telling
the
you
road, and
right
I got
there.
one for 326 and made a new connection with a very good tire shop and very good people who
Yeah,
told
I'm
me they
telling
would
you
give me
right
whatever I wanted. So
He's like $5.99. I'm like, yo, it's a trailer tire, bro. Are you serious? Come on. He is like, what the what? And the driver didn't want to go look around nowhere, so I was like, all right, no problem. Change the fucking tire. Papa,
I got a question real quick
I
while
didn't
we're on
talk
these
to you very much.
discounts. Hey, Mike, real quick, I got a question for Jamie. Have you used it for the trailer washout?
no, I've never used it for that.
Has
No, sir.
anybody?
I didn't even know you could. Could you, Jamie? He would probably know better than
That's
anybody.
that's the first I've heard of that, but I will be sure be checking, because that would come in handy. I mean, I don't know. That's information I don't have.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
supposed to be at the Pilot Flying J truck stops, but only washouts I see is Blue Beacon, and so I'm trying to find out if that's used at Blue Beacon or is there like a few stores out there that actually have truck washes at Flying J, Pilot, those places.
Well,
I've
well,
never seen one at a Flying J or a Pilot.
I've
I,
always seen if they're there, they're owned by someone else.
I spoke to Jessica today, and there is some news coming on Pilot. I can't speak about it just yet, but there is something in the works for Pilot and NOAA members. She also sent me something else. Yeah, I spoke to her today about that, and there's something in the works with Pilot. Papa, I want to come back to you, and then I'm going to come to you, James Anderson. I know you're down there.
Tell them about the tires, Papa.
Papa, you know, we don't get to speak to you very often. So please, you have the floor, sir. What's been going on with you?
You know, that's our biggest thing is just trying to find good paying loads out of Idaho. It just seems like they're with the way these rates are dropping, you know, we found that rates went down almost $1,000 within like 3 weeks on some runs. So it's it's getting hard to find them now, especially out on the West Coast.
Yeah. I heard exactly what you just said. A few weeks back, the rates were good out of that area, and then all of a sudden, everything it's like the carpet. It's like that saying where the carpet gets pulled out from under you. It's weird. I don't know. Papa, you're running a reefer, right?
No, I run dry van.
And the name of your company is, because we got a lot of viewers here. What is the name of your company, Papa?
Flying Fox.
Flying Fox. I should have known
Yep.
that. Blake's, I am sorry. Don't yell at me, and please don't start sending me nasty emails. Right. Flying Fox. So, Papa, it's great
If
to
I
have
get if I get haters now, it's because he put it out there.
No, what you're going to get is you're going to get people contacting you, asking you if you want to do these loads coming out of Idaho. That's usually what I get. I
No,
get a lot of that.
I found the new way to deal with all my dispatch calls. Now I just tell the dispatchers I had to sell my truck because I couldn't find good paying loads. Where were they 2 weeks ago? I could have used them, but I had to sell all my stuff because there's no good paying loads.
Yeah, man.
And then they hang up on you.
Yeah, then they don't want to talk to you because you don't have no truck no more. Hey, Tim, what is the name of your company, Tim?
MKD Transport.
One more time. MKD.
Yep.
MKD Transport.
Yep.
And you are based out of California or Nevada?
California.
Got you. Tim, do you have that certificate, the clean air certificate? Did you do the registration for that?
Yeah. Yeah, I have it.
So you paid the $30 or whatever
Yeah.
it was?
Yes.
That's what you really had to do, right? Pay the $30.
That's all I had to do. Pay
Gotcha.
$30, and they gave you a letter. It's retarded.
Well, it's a shakedown. It's a shakedown.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's all. Jamie Anderson, your company is
Daystar Transport.
Daystar Transport out of Texas. Jamie, you're out of not Houston, but next to Houston, right?
Oh, that's where I'm at now. So we're me and my partner, we're partners. So now we got a terminal in the Dallas area, and then we got one in the Houston area. So yeah.
Right. And Jamie, you got a reefer, and Tim, I know you got a reefer, and Papa's running dry van today. James Anderson, are you
Yes, sir.
Are you on the road, James Anderson, or did you take a break?
Nope, I am on. Well, I was on the road, but I'm done for the day. Waiting for
Okay.
delivery to 7 a.m.
And James, you're running a dry van, right?
Correct.
And the name of your company out of Iowa, James? Idaho? Sorry.
Idaho, Boise, Idaho, is ICT. Ida Charles Tom.
Ida Charlestown. Now, we got a lot of people out here watching. I could see that, and they're going to be playing this video back. You got 1, 2, 3, 4. You got 4 excellent carriers. 2 of them are out of Idaho. 1 is in Texas, and Tim is in California. Don't hate him for that. He only runs his company out of California. He's from Nevada. Listen, you got 4 good carriers right here. If you ever want loads moved or transported, you'll never have an issue with these guys. They're very professional. You can get in touch with them through Blake's right there. Blake's, can you put your information up on the screen or in the chat box so I can put it on the screen? Or you can contact them directly. Daystar Transport out of Texas, MKD out of California. MKD, right, Tim?
Correct.
And James Anderson, one more time.
ICT.
ICT out of Idaho, and Flying Fox Transport out of Idaho. I see a lot of brokers out there, and they're sending me these emails, and actually, it's a waste of time. I don't even answer them. I just forward them to my dispatchers. You got so many brokers out there. I don't know if you guys know this, but these brokers are starving. They literally are begging, looking for carriers. And it's pathetic how they're looking for carriers and they supposedly can't find good carriers. You got 4 good carriers right here. So if you're looking for good carriers that are ready to move freight, contact. Business will run smoother. Sometimes it's a good idea to take less money if the load gets moved properly and business runs smoothly. Sometimes it's a good idea. It's a good business model. Trying to suck all the meat off the bone is not a very good business model. You won't last very long. So look these guys up if you're looking to move freight. Jennifer, I have not been to you in a second.
Yo.
I apologize. I know we ran over on this show. Go ahead, Jennifer.
I was just talking about the RICO violation for that company. I mean, I moved off my screen now because I didn't think you were coming back. But the long and the short of it is that they are saying that FedEx violated the RICO Act by
Right.
yeah.
I read that. I did read that, Jennifer. Yes, I believe that came out last week, right?
Yeah, I think on the 24th. Yeah, like Friday or
Right.
something like that.
Yeah,
Anyways,
I did read
it was
that,
interesting
and
to
I'm
me.
like, FedEx, Rico. Okay, right. Yeah. All right. Anyway, next. Yeah. So what are they gonna do?
They said that that PY&Q, after several attempts by PY&Q to renegotiate the contracts, the suit alleges FedEx Ground sent termination letters to PY&Q regarding its contracts and claims the delivery giant sold one of its contracts, the Eureka route, without
Right.
PY&Q's consent and also failed to compensate them, and that there was no time to sell the second contract, the Brookings route, which wouldn't be profitable without the Eureka one. And court filings allege that on the last day of the contract, the new ISP for FedEx started recruiting the drivers out from underneath PY&Q without Wright's knowledge and before she was able to notify him about the contracts canceling.
Well, here's what I'll say. The both of them can go to hell. I hope they both lose. So before we close this show out, I want to let everybody know that our insurance program is almost complete. I spoke with our underwriters today, and they informed me that they are almost done. and we should have this product rolling out within the next 2 weeks. I will be in, I believe, Nashville, meeting with them personally at a seminar or whatever this is in Nashville on the 5th of June. And it looks like the National Owner Operators Association insurance program will be launching within the next couple of weeks. So if you're looking to renew your policy and you're looking for something that you will not have to renew every year or pay incredible amounts of money for, our insurance policy will be available in the next couple of weeks. We have worked diligently, very hard to get this product out there, and we have finally gotten it done. And I want to thank everyone for hanging in there with us on this and being patient, but we finally got this insurance product done. And it's going to come with a few extras, bells and whistles. We spoke to them today. Jimmy Hart actually threw something in the threw a little something in the pit there and asked for some more incentives for NOAA members. So I was pretty surprised that he did that, but they actually thought it was a good idea and they're going to try to implement it. So there's going to be some extras in there if you sign on and get this insurance policy through NOAA. It is a NOAA policy, and I'm proud of it. I really, I'm very happy and I'm very proud. And I hope everyone takes a serious look at it and considers getting involved with our insurance program. That is all I wanted to say from me anyway. I'm going to give the microphone back to my co-host there, Jennifer. And if you guys want to continue on with the show, that's great. I'm pretty much good. And it's good to see everyone. I can tell you, you're all family. Tim, James Anderson, Papa, Blake's, especially Jamie. I don't see him all the time. I talk to him almost every day, but I don't see his face all the time. Jamie, Jennifer, you guys are like family. And it's good to see all of you. Thank you for being here. Jennifer?
Yeah. Hey, Tim, did we ever hear back from that other party?
No, I didn't.
I didn't figure we would.
Yeah,
Just be honest.
I
It's
didn't,
fine.
and
It's fine.
you know, that was my screw up,
It's
and
okay.
I'm definitely gonna get that to you.
It's all right. I just was wondering if they were an honest person or
No,
anyways,
no.
we had an electronic payment snafu that went awry, so sorry about that. But anyways,
But
so
thank you for reminding me because now since nobody wants to do anything on that side, I'm gonna go to my bank and see if they'll do something about
yeah,
it.
you could dispute it. Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
have luck with my bank usually. It's a credit union with things like that, but it's worth a shot.
it's worth a shot. The worst thing they do is say no, and you're no worse off. So,
Yes, absolutely. So,
did you have anything else you wanted to talk about tonight, Tim?
um, not that
It's
I
good to
can
see
think
you.
of.
It's
Yeah,
good
it's
for me
good
to
to
put my
see all
eyes
of you
on you.
guys. Yeah, a little on the scruffy side, but that's easy to happen.
Uh-huh.
With that 5 o'clock shadow.
Right, right.
But
James
um,
Anderson,
Yes, ma'am.
you got anything you want to? Got anything on your mind tonight? You know, you sometimes you got a little rant held back on the side there. So, you know if anything has come to mind recently.
Well, I mean, I know you already know what came to my mind because it already came to the forefront last night. But again, it doesn't matter what we tell these people. We can argue with these people like Sage all day long till we're blue in the face. They're not going to change their opinion. We're not going to change ours. It is what it is. Just if you don't support Noah, don't support Noah. If you support Noah, hey man, that's great. Otherwise, I don't know. Fuck off. Go a different direction. I don't care at this point. It's so childish with these guys. I guess maybe if like their job was actually difficult, they'd have less time to fuck around. But who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I could say, I want to give a big shout out to James Lamb at SBTC. Uh, James, if you're out there, you know, uh, couldn't be more of a friend, supporter. I really do appreciate James Lamb and the support that we have gotten from SBTC. SBTC is a partner of NOAA, and we appreciate James Lamb and SBTC, all of the people over on X, Marlon and his entire team at We Are the People, every Tuesday, 9 a.m. to, I believe, 1 p.m. He does Trucker Tuesday, and we come on from 11 to, I believe, 1 or 2 p.m. Marlon, John, Carmen. Did anybody read the post that Carmen put on X the other day? Thank you so much, Carmen, for your kind words. We love you and we appreciate you and all of your support. Carmen Love. Blake's, is Blake's? Yeah, Blake's is here. Did you?
Yes, I read it and it was so awesome and heartfelt. I told her thank you, and she needed to give herself just as much credit that she gave all of us, because she does an excellent job as well, and I thanked her a lot.
Yeah, I agree. Carmen goes out to the truck stops like once a week and hands out material on NOAA and interviews truckers while they're doing the Twitter spaces. Like, she's been a supporter of NOAA since like, it feels like she's been there forever. And I agree. She deserved to be included in that post as well. We appreciate all of her support. Yeah, all of the people over on Twitter. I also want to say hello to Matt Dahl. Matt out there, he's a friend of mine, and he is a supporter of trucking. And I want to say hello to Matt Dahl out there. I know we haven't been on in a while. I was supposed to appear on his podcast last Friday, but I couldn't. And Jamie Anderson and Jennifer filled in for me, and they did an excellent job. But thank you, Matt, for having our guys on and treating them with respect on your show. We really do appreciate it. Thank you. Um, that's pretty much it for me, unless anyone has anything else to add. Um, I'm good.
Mike, let me throw something out here, brother. I don't know if y'all seen it, but C.H. Robinson, their rating was downgraded from AAA to B.
Hmm.
Really?
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
When was this?
So,
This
the,
at the end of quarter one, or end of quarter was
yeah,
quarter.
That's crazy.
Hmm.
well, but I also wanted to give a shout out to the small mechanic shops and stuff out there. And this shop I found down in Beaumont, Texas. So if you ever get down in Beaumont, Texas, it's 3R Truck Services. You know, put this out there. We need to be supporting these small mom and pop places just like we are. So if you can get away with not going to that TA or Petro or Lowe's, man, go find you a local business somewhere. We take the time where you're at and you need something done. You will save money. You'll get great service. And you don't have to deal with the headache or hassle or worrying about an individual that don't know what they're doing at one of these truck stops that's making $12, $15 an hour to work on your equipment, that basically all they do is change tires. Uh, you know, the money you save and putting the money back these local economies, the small mom and pop places, man, it's something that we all need to think about and be aware of. So 3R Truck Services down in Beaumont, Texas. I got a few places in Dallas, but shout out to all these small mom and pops out here that are doing it right and trying to save truckers money and doing good work. So that's important.
That's crazy. Look at C.H. Robinson.
Mm-hmm.
That stock just went down to crapper, huh?
What did it go down to?
79. I mean, it was almost $100 a few. Uh, it was up to, what was it?
Yeah, they dropped 25% then.
Was it C.H. Robinson? Yeah, they were up almost $100. Uh, let me see something. 3 months.
It's hard. It's hard for them to get people to run loads when they're really lowballing the crap out of a lot of their runs right now.
You're right. You're right. Uh,
Preach, Papa.
you're definitely right. That's kind of funny. Well, at least we don't have any deals cooking with C.H. Robinson. I can tell you that I don't know if I mentioned it yet, but we are in the final stages of a deal with JB Hunt. So I am not going to say what that deal entails, but we have been working on it since March. Um, yeah, since March. And it's going to be a good deal for NOAA members. We are in the final stages of that as well. I actually spoke with them yesterday, I believe, and they should be sending something over to us soon. But we do have a peace agreement coming with JB Hunt. So um, I can tell you out of the big three that we did boycott, which is JB Hunt, which is TQL, JB Hunt, and CH Robinson. Out of the three, JB Hunt it was only JB Hunt who came to the table like gentlemen and wanted to speak with us and make peace. And I have to give credit where credit is due. I know a lot of people don't like JB Hunt. That's fine. You don't have to. I understand. But they they're talking and we're talking, and that's how this has to work, right? So we're working on it, and once we have something that makes sense, we're definitely going to make the announcement to everyone. They want to make the announcement like yesterday, so um, we are working on it. What I wanted to put out there with that. But the fight still goes on. We will continue to push. Blake's, thank you very much for everything that you do and everything that you continue to do. Thank you so much.
Thank
Blake's,
you. You too.
Blake's is, really holding down the fort. Literally, I mean, she's got so many things going on. I don't know how you do it. Big up to you. Thank you so much. I'd be lost without you. I
Me
almost missed
too.
that.
Me too.
If you wouldn't have put that meeting on my calendar, I wouldn't have made it today. I was in my car. I said, "Oh snap! Look, this thing came up. I would have totally missed it." So thank you for that.
I'm happy to help, and thank you guys too for everything that you do too.
Yeah, thanks. Jennifer, you got anything else?
Nope. Just got placements to do. Placements,
Hey,
placements.
question: when are we coming back on to do this thing? This podcast here. When do you want to? It's already 11 o'clock, so we're gonna
Yeah,
shut it
we
down.
gotta
But
shut it
when do you
down.
want to do it?
Shut it down. I don't know.
When
It's
do you
just
want to?
ran a little long tonight, just because we haven't been on in a while. I think, and everybody showed up. Thanks for showing up, everybody. But I don't care. Whenever you feel like you want to do this again, I don't. Friday, I think is Spunky Space. Is she doing one this Friday? No, it's next Friday.
Yeah, the
No, it's
scheduling
the
for Friday
seventh,
is
and
not good.
hers is the
So
7th.
why don't we do it? Why don't we leave it for every Wednesday at 8 p.m. for
Hmm.
now? And if we squeeze in another day, we'll
I think
make
it
it.
would be a Sunday probably if we do it or something,
Yeah.
because
All
it'd
right.
be the end of the
Yeah.
weekend. But
We'll play it by ear, but we'll plan for a Sunday.
but
And
just
Tim,
Yes.
just hang on.
hey,
One thing, Spunky Spaces for veterans and truckers are on June 7th and the 21st, and July 12th and 26th, I believe, for the trucker space on Twitter at 9 or 9:30 Eastern I think it's 9:30 Eastern. Just so you guys know.
Okay. Cool. And Tim, don't be getting lost out there, bro. We had everybody out in the country looking for you, Tim.
Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Everybody was looking for me.
Everybody was like, "Yo, where's Tim? Where's Tim? Where's It's like we were gonna put your face on shirts and like, you seen this guy? Yo, don't
I,
get lost, Tim.
we
We get nervous
Jamie,
when we don't know where you are.
you got Jamie over there calling the police stations
no
and the
James
Yeah.
Anderson.
hospitals.
James
Yeah,
Anderson did that.
James Anderson. Okay, yeah, I found out, because the cops, called. They know who I am, and so they're calling my family members that they're friends with, and they're calling me, and it was just like, no, I'm okay, I'm good, and
You got a lot of love, Tim.
yeah.
Everybody, they were all concerned about you,
Tim,
brother.
Tim, when I get concerned, I put the AP. I called Mike. I called Blake. I called James. I called Jamie. I mean, I called and said, anybody seen him? Anybody seen him? Man, I put out the troops looking for you, literally.
Yeah, yeah, I went MIA, definitely.
Yeah,
I
Tim,
uh,
give
uh,
people a fair warning the next time you do that, bro. Let
yeah,
us know when you're gonna go MIA.
absolutely.
Papa and James Anderson, I know you guys didn't get a chance to chime in there, but I'm going to shut this show down. We'll be back 8 p.m. Next Wednesday. If you guys have anything else you want to add, go ahead. And yeah,
Yeah, add a calendar to the website and put it in there.
a calendar. Like
Yes,
what? Like just a calendar?
yeah, like calendar.
Oh,
You put
events.
you put the
Right.
events in, maybe with topics or something that we're
It's
going to be
there.
talking about, or something.
You're
I
right.
never see it,
Yeah,
and
Tim.
or
Yeah,
or
yeah.
somebody's slack in there and doesn't put
It's
the
there.
information in there.
Tim, it's there. I have not updated it. It's there. You're
Okay.
right. I got to speak to these people this weekend, and we will start updating the website. There's a calendar there. You're right. I got to put it there. You're right. Thank you.
Yep.
I'm gonna make a note of that. Too, I have to update the website. Update site.
Because
And
yeah, it's been pretty hard for me to get on here and follow, because I don't know when, what time, anything like that, and I'm having to ask other people to notify
my
me, and
my B Tim, I missed you on Tuesday because they missed me on Tuesday. That was not my fault.
no,
Marlon forgot me.
it's
yeah,
okay. I understand. It happens, and but if there's a calendar out there, then it makes it a lot easier for me to get back involved. Because it's
there,
easier to
there,
find you guys.
there is a calendar, Tim. There is a
Yeah.
calendar. I
Okay.
am going to talk to Mike at the developers, and I'm going to have him update that ASAP. Uh,
Yeah, I don't think it's that hard either, for them to do something like that, where you can just go in there. You probably have a calendar on your phone or your computer mic, and you go
that's
in
it.
there and you just kind of the same thing. You just add it to it, and it's done. And anybody can go in there, click on that date, find out what's going on, and I think that'd
You
be pretty nice.
you are totally right, sir. You are totally right. Uh, Ladies and gentlemen, it is getting late. I think everyone had a chance to get their voices heard tonight. I want to thank everyone for being here. Thank you, Jennifer, for being here with me. Remember, everyone, if you have an issue with a broker not paying you, or an issue with a shipper, or any type of issue, financial issue on the road, always remember you can contact NOAA, speak with Jennifer in the corporate debt collection broker fraud division, and she will help to get you paid. Yeah, And check out any of the other 35 to 40 different services we have at the National Owner Operators Association, from fuel cards to compliance to the broker fraud and corporate debt collection to just you name it, we have it. Tire programs, legal services, carrier services. If you're looking to lease your truck onto someone, you could lease it onto the National Owner Operators Association's carrier division. We have a full dispatcher division that is managed by Mr. Jamie Anderson. If you're a shipper out there and you're looking for someone to move your freight, you can we can help you with that. And if you're a broker and you're looking for carriers to move freight for you, we can help you with that as well. With our load board, if you're willing to put your loads on our load board, we can help you move your freight. So I'm going to sign off from the National Owner Operators Association and everyone out there. Thank you all for your support. We will be back next Wednesday at 8 p.m. Everyone have a great rest of your week, and stay safe. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.